Welcome to Tush Twins, heard exclusively on MalcolmPresents.com, a streaming platform heard round the world and even in Brooklyn. Anyway, hi guys, welcome back.
Hello.
Hey, how are
Hey,
you?
2 weeks. Haven't seen you
Two
in two
weeks.
weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, kind of, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah, I
guys done
was.
anything? Let's start with Max. What have you done, pray tell?
Well,
Yes.
I was in the I was in the EU. I went to Finland and I met my Bucher. I'm Finns. I'm a Finnish family. They're very nice. They had like a little event for the kiddos. Uh, and of course, at this restaurant there was a hot tub and a sauna because it's Finland. Okay. There's 2 million saunas in Finland. There's 5 million people in Finland. I go to a top five-star hotel in Finland. No sauna. How is that possible? There was no sauna in the hotel. It's an old building in
Yeah.
there. And the restaurant part is like the second oldest building in Helsinki. So no. So anyway, the Finnish people are very nice, very reserved people, not
hmm
overly like, me, I'm out there. No, I'm not, but I am. You know that. But
I,
but they're very nice, very sweet
I wouldn't
people.
call you quite quiet and reserved.
Me, no, I'm not quite quiet and
Wait till
reserved,
they
but
meet me, Auntie Cuckoo.
oh God, we're gonna have to figure something out. I don't know how they're gonna deal with you. Oh my God.
Not
But
the end.
Do
you're the
you have your
auntie.
wedding dress set?
You're the godmother. I have the dress.
No, no, I
I, I
mean Paula. You have
Oh,
your dress?
Yes, I have
she
three
could pick
dresses I
anything in her
haven't
closet.
decided.
Yeah, she
I
has
have
good
three
stuff.
dresses.
Hmm.
I
But
She
bought a beautiful
she will look
suit.
stunning, that's for sure.
I
lo-
bought a
So
beautiful suit for the dinner before the night
I didn't
before.
buy anything for that yet. I don't know.
I went online to whatchamacallit, White House Black Market. They're having a big sale. Me,
Okay.
Queen of Sales.
Right.
Yay.
Yeah.
And I got the most gorgeous outfit. Yes,
Okay.
so I'm very happy.
okay, we
I
can discuss that at a future show. I want to hear about your trip.
so
I
anyway,
want to hear about Max's trip.
so I met all the family, the friends, and then we were at the hotel, of course, and then one night we kept hearing banging from upstairs. But it was like someone dropped a 300-pound weight and just
Oh,
kept dropping it. And we just kept hearing something going and being dropped for hours, hours.
did you
We
call
tried to call the
downstairs?
front desk. No one was picking up, oddly, even though we called like two, three times. And they claimed that we didn't call them, even though we called them. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so that at 4 in the morning, that was it for me. I went downstairs. I said, something's going on up in that room and it's not good. And I don't want to be listed as any complainant in this because I don't know who they are and what they're doing. Sounds kind of weird. So I said, you better send security because it's weird.
Uh-oh.
So
Was the gym above you?
no, first I asked if that was the gym but this was 2, 3, 4 in the morning. What are they doing in
No.
the gym? So finally, they must have gone up. It stopped for a couple hours. And then we went down for breakfast and
Mm-hmm.
I said, like, what's going on? I said, well, they went in the room. I mean, whoever was there, the room was trashed. There was two cot beds that they kept pulling up and dropping. They must have been drugged or
A, a,
alcohol. I don't
a
know what
rock
it
and roll
was.
band.
No, it was well, we that always reminded me of Duran at Saturday Night Live. But
Yeah.
um so she said they're very sweet there. The staff was great.
Mhm.
She goes to me, well, um, just so you know, they won't be here tonight. And just so you know, they were banned from the hotel for life.
Oh my God.
Where did you ever hear a statement like that? Like, nowhere. I mean, it's just nuts, really. I mean, what are the freaking odds of all of that? So anyway, I said, you got to do something. Like we were up all night. You got to either give us a room for, whatever. I said, I don't.
And
And we're
I,
going back and forth, and we're all, they gave us 100 credit on this, 100 credit on that. And then I said, send us a car to the airport, send us a car to the airport, which they did. So I had a nice limo. We had a nice ride,
Hmm.
it was
good.
fun. So anyway, we capitalized on that one. In Italy, in Lake Como, which is gorgeous, beautiful.
Oh my God, the
Um,
views, the pictures are stunning.
I we were staying at the Grand Victoria Hotel, which is like a very high rated hotel. It was right up your alley, Paul. I mean, top notch, everything. They had the spa, which was incredible.
Right.
So, and then, we went on the ferry rides, we, past Bellagio and all the places into these gardens. And the town of Menaggio, where we were, is a little less crowded, which I love, which is
Yeah.
why I would go there again versus Bellagio, which is like, tourist city. But so we're there 2 nights, and on that second night, in the middle of the night, all of a sudden,
Oh, bang.
we see flashing on the wall, and the room was dark, and out of nowhere, these two lights go on. Now we're in bed. We're not putting the lights on. We didn't touch any lights. We can't turn the lights off. There's no way. And this thing keeps flashing. We call downstairs and they go, "Oh, we're so sorry. Excuse we have a problem." Like, it's like you and some others on that floor. The lights, the emergency lights go on So they send up Umberto,
In
and he
bed.
tries to
There.
if he tries to fix it, he takes the closet apart to pull out where the various things are to try to fix it behind the
Mm-hmm.
pulls it out. He said, I cannot the fix. We have to wait for the tech people. Something is not right. They can't figure it. They can't figure it out. So this is the second night. These are two luxury hotels. I should have gone to Motel 6. Well, maybe not. But still,
Well, they leave the light on.
right, can you
Right.
leave the light on? So I'm going, what? Just what? And I'm
What
like,
the?
yeah. So I go to the desk, and then we say, hey, this is not acceptable. I was up all night. I lost a night here at $1,800 a night. I'm saying, comp me, do something, whatever. The manager goes, what do you want? We were giving her a list, right? I didn't think we were going to get anything. And he goes, you have to speak to we wanted to speak to the property manager. They're the only ones who can do really anything. So I'm sitting by the pool. The property manager finds me, right? And he goes like, what? He goes, we're really sorry. All you know is I'm sorry, right? I'm sorry. There was an article in Atlantic magazine, and it's called Sludge. It's about customer service. And it has to do with this is called sludge that they don't give you, not at this hotel, but in general, customer service is outrageously horrible,
A
and
misnomer.
and
Yes,
and
it
it's and
is.
it's purposely done to really drive you nuts, and they do a good job of it, and it's called you're being sludged when the customers, and then they say go to the next person, go to the next person, and then you're on a call and they hang up. That's all done on purpose. There's no
So
behind.
you would just go away.
Right, exactly. You get
Most
frustrated.
people will.
Frustration.
Right,
Yeah.
most people will. Not the Rubens. No.
Not the Wallenses.
Anyway, this was a nice hotel, and they're not going to mess around with us. So I wound up getting a car to the
Hmm.
airport. And this is
Right.
a long ride, and we had a really beautiful Mercedes car. So this 2 nights of not sleep got me cars to the airports in Italy and in uh,
Well, that's what
Helsinki.
happened for me in New Orleans. Same
It,
thing.
it's ridiculous. So, but in Helsinki, we were there the weekend of the Gay Pride Parade. There were thousands of people marching in Helsinki. I
Oh,
did not expect, I thought maybe a few hundred. There were thousands. And it
good.
was also that same weekend was um, the heavy metal weekend bash of concerts, and people came from all over Europe. All the crazy metalheads came
Oh,
there.
I would have
So,
loved it.
so you had the LGBTQ community and the crazy guy, heavy metal dudes. And I'm like, I'm wondering if it, who, I don't know who the people upstairs were, or if they were metal dudes who just got totally drunk. I have no
Yeah,
idea. Uh,
it sounds like a
Probably.
heavy metal band going wild.
I don't know. They went wild. And the thing was that I don't know if the room was configured the way mine was, but they gave them like two cots. So there was four adults in that room. Like, why? How would you let them put in two cots in a room like that? Apparently, they were picking up the cots, and that's what was falling and banging. They kept just picking up the bed and just, or they were just banging and using that again. I mean, I don't know. I think it was a combination of banging and banging. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it,
Or
but
maybe they were having wild, unadulterated sex.
that's what I'm saying. Banging.
Yeah, banging.
Yeah, I said they were banging and banging. That's what
Banging
I
and
said.
banging.
But anyway, Lake Como is beautiful. It looks a lot like Maui to an extent. This beautiful lake and these gorgeous mountains, and the people were nice, and I met strangely, went into town, and it was really crowded, so we were trying to find a cafe to grab some dinner, and we find this place. And we sit down. We're seated by this young lady, and then I thought she was going to be the waitress. She goes, "No, no, let me." She gives me another waitress. Okay, and we're going, "Okay, fine." So Les and I are talking, and the waitress goes, "Oh, oh, like where are you from? You're visiting." I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Where are you from?" And I said, "We're from New York." New York, okay. She goes, "I worked in New York for 2 years." I said, "Fabulous. Like, where did you work?" She goes, "Oh, this town not far from the city. It's called Chappaqua."
Yeah, have you heard of that before?
She
No.
she she could you imagine what the quantum, containment in that, imagine trying to figure out the odds if you're an odds maker of going to this place, them switching my waitress in the middle in Menagio in a town in Lake Como, and the person who was waiting on us lived in Chappaqua for 2 years as a nanny. And what are the odds of them saying Chappaqua, number one?
And
And
pronouncing it correctly.
and pronouncing it correctly, right? And the again, quantum entanglement. That was I couldn't
Yeah.
figure out the
But by the way,
exact.
Paula, do me a favor, raise your picture up. Yeah,
No, it's me. I
right.
sat back.
So,
Now, it reminds me
so
that this is going now about 35 years ago. I'm with my then girlfriend in France,
Hmm.
in Paris, and we're walking around, and in Europe. First time I was in Europe, didn't realize that the sun goes down late. So
oh, oh, that's the other thing about Helsinki. There
It's
was
about
no
9:30, and we hadn't had dinner yet, and we're in some far out place. So we walk around, and we see this restaurant open. We walk in, and we're like, yeah, maybe two or three people in there. So we sit down, uh, start having dinner, and in comes this woman, a single woman, and she's about our age, maybe a little older, and she sits down at a table next to us. And I hear her talking, and she's talking English, fluently. And so we start talking to her. Turns out, we start talking, and she says she was just in Los Angeles. She's from, I think, New York, and she was just in Los Angeles. And I said, "Oh yeah, who did you see?" She said, "I saw my brother. He had a party. He was an executive at Disney."
Oh,
So I had a friend that worked at Disney who was at that party the night before. He was like the executive vice president of Disney.
oh
oh,
my God, that's coincidence.
well, it's
So he said, "Oh
okay.
yeah, I know the party. My friend attended it." Yeah. Speaking of small world,
Yeah, it's crazy. But we met people in both places. That we met people someone was from North Salem nearby, Ardsley, the
Hmm.
city.
did anybody speak about the horrors of politics, or you didn't get
A
it?
lot of people did, more than you would think.
Hmm.
When I say I didn't say the US when people asked me where I was from, I said New York. It was a better thing to use because they know kind of New York and California that, and a lot of people would say, I'm so sorry for what's going on.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I feel really bad for what's happening. And I'm saying, thank you for at least having the empathy to know that more than half the country is not like this. And you know, we have a bad situation going on. And but they
They
knew what
were
was
aware.
happening. Oh, they
What
were.
situation's going on here? I don't know
I don't know.
anything.
A lot of people, they know. Some people didn't really focus on it because,
And they
you know,
said most of the people you ran into were speaking English.
the people who from here in New York, yeah, they all spoke English, some better than others.
Yeah.
But, and also Helsinki, they spoke English. Finnish is impossible. It is the hardest language.
You're
I don't know.
finished and finished.
Yeah, I know.
Did, did,
But I
did you
did that
did you try to speak to them?
in Finnish. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? No. Um, I know two words. Kitos and moi moi and
Moi
goodbye.
moi.
Yeah, moi moi.
Moi moi.
But at they had Sarah's mom, he had a part. They had a part. Dad had a party for the kids there, and it was at a place that had a sauna and a hot tub. The restaurant had a sauna and a hot
In the
tub. We
restaurant? Oh.
at towards the end of the evening, we all went into the hot tub. It was hysterical.
You
And
brought bathing suits with you?
yes,
Or
Oh,
did you go
good.
all natural?
no, we
No.
do not do that. Uh, and then there's a Ferris wheel. I've never heard of anything like it, but it's a sauna
And it's
Hmm.
the
Ferris
Coney
wheel.
Oh, wow.
Island.
I didn't get to go on it. I wanted to go on it so bad just to say I went on a sauna Ferris wheel. Because how many times
That's
do you get
you
to say
don't.
that? I passed it. I have pictures of it, but we never got in. It was just everything got away with, seeing all the family. We went to visit Sarah's grandma, who's about 25 minutes out in the suburb, and her aunt and her
Okay.
cousin, and the sweetest people. Just her grandma's so nice, and she can't come to the wedding because she's 93 now, and
Aw.
she's got it would be much, much too much for a
How
trip
is
for her.
Sarah's dad? Is he a nice
He's a
man?
very nice guy. They're a very nice guy. They're
And
very
the first
nice.
time you met them, right?
Well, I met the mom and her sister, but I didn't meet her dad. But he's a real nice. He's very nice guy. So they're really nice people, except they're pretty far away. So
Yeah.
I'm now I'm gonna wind up in Finland again, I'm sure.
Yeah,
So
probably.
so
Uh,
I got a present coming back from Italy. COVID.
COVID. Yeah.
All I can say is planes are a flying petri dish. I've never heard so much coughing, sneezing without people covering their mouths. Like, never.
It's
Never, never, never,
horrible.
never. It's the guy sitting next to Les on one of the flights was from Indonesia or something, and he had a mask, but he wasn't always using it. And he said, "I'm covering because I had COVID." And I'm completely convinced he gave it to Les, this guy, because he was right there.
Yeah, at
So,
least they waited till the end of your vacation, the end of your trip.
well, it was kind of the middle for I mean, we were still, Les got didn't feel well starting like Wednesday or Thursday. And no matter what I would do, no matter what we did, there was no way I wasn't gonna be, we told the room like to put a cot in for me or to move so I can move away. So they actually split the bed. So
Oh,
like on Thursday and for the rest of the time I was sleeping in we were sleeping separately. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Much as I used the mat, it still did.
Maxine, Dennis and I had COVID last time, and I had it pretty bad. Dennis didn't want to go out of the room. He stayed in there. He same bed, didn't get it.
Yeah, it's
Didn't get it.
I thought I was okay until the flight home. When in the middle of
You
it,
just gave a lot of people.
oh God, I didn't realize. I had no idea. I felt fine. I thought I dodged it. My throat didn't hurt or anything. Um, but all of a sudden I just got hot. Like like I was literally burning. I was like halfway through the flight, I was burning up. I had no idea. I didn't know. I didn't, certainly I would have not, taken more precautions because I thought I dodged it, right? At that point, it would be like I dodged it. But
No way.
got home, took the test, and nope. I called my doctor's office and they arranged for a telehealth at 11 p.m.
Mm.
Yeah, so you could go get the medicine the next
So
morning.
he prescribed the
So,
medicine.
so how long were you in Finland for?
I was in Finland for about 4 days, uh, and mostly Helsinki, obviously.
Hmm.
So and Helsinki's it's pretty cool. It's right. Our hotel was right
How's
on
the
the.
fish? Yummy.
I don't eat the fish. The breakfast at the hotel, both of them, was superior.
Yeah,
Uh, they had salmon. They had less. You know him and lox.
yeah.
He had plates of lox. The
In
bread is
Nova Scotia,
the
right?
bread. No,
Nova. Yeah.
Helsinki special. Uh,
I would
and so he
love it.
was a happy. And the desserts. Oh my God.
Yeah, I would love
The,
the codfish, the salted cod, and all the
the best. The
fish.
everything is though. You go into the market. You go into it's like this kind of a market where they have different kind of there was one across the street which was like had food stuff, and you can get reindeer hot dogs, reindeer
Reindeer hot
hamburger,
dogs.
reindeer. They serve reindeer.
Hmm.
Yeah, but who could
Well,
eat
I like
Rudolph?
Reindeer.
venison. I like deer, so it has to
Well,
be.
well, of course, E had a reindeer hot dog, but he had eaten before reindeer steak. They had reindeer hamburgers.
How can you eat the relatives of Rudolph?
I can't. I didn't. I waved it off. Uh,
Could eat it.
so, so I
And
didn't
I
have
was a
anything to.
vegetarian. I was a vegan at one time.
Uh,
Yeah.
and eat
Well,
reindeer steak.
I love my meat now.
But
I
were
didn't.
you in Finland?
No,
No.
but I would
Well,
eat it.
anyway, it was
Next time Max and I are going.
the furthest north I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
Was about an hour and a half by plane is Lapland, where the Northern Lights are, and
Did you see it?
Santa Claus. No, you can't see it really that much in the summer because it's light almost the entire day and night.
Nighttime.
Now, how did you survive that? Were you
We had curtains that were dark. I mean, there's
Blackout
no
curtains. Yeah.
pretty much because otherwise 2 in the morning, it's still like a twilight. It's still not totally dark, like the whole. But as you go north, it's almost 24 hours of daylight, and in the winter, it's 20
Almost
hours
20
of dark.
dark.
They get 4 hours of light, and it's minus 30 degrees like
I,
all the time.
I I think that would be more depressing.
You know,
See,
so
it
but
doesn't
you,
bother me that the time changes and you get the light, that when the summer comes, it's lighter and lighter. Now it's starting to get, within another 2 weeks, it's going to start getting darker a little earlier every day. Instead of
yeah,
9 o'clock, it's going to be 10 to 9. And I
well,
enjoy watching the change.
yeah. Well,
I'm weird.
this was weird because 11, 12 o'clock
It's
was
light
still
out.
out, was still out outside.
See, Maine is going up to Maine at about 10, 11, 10 o'clock. It's still light, but then
Yeah.
it gets dark at this time of year. But
Yeah.
I would love to experience that.
I don't think we're getting to the anthem on this one.
It's
Well,
okay. I'm enjoying yours
well,
more.
we'll have to, but
Okay,
we
so
took we took some nice ferry rides on Lake Como, visiting these beautiful gardens and
I have
some
one
beautiful.
question.
Yeah, I didn't see George,
Ah,
but
he's mine.
he's mine.
Mine.
He
You can
was.
have him. I'll take Pierce.
There's a Hollywood tour. There was a boat tour, and
Yeah.
one of them was like sunset boat tour, right? And then the next thing was Hollywood tour. You could see
Ooh,
three Hollywood stars, one places on the lake, one of which was George.
George's.
The problem is every time we went by there were no boats and the person wasn't there. So, because I was thinking one time to do it, right? Why
Yeah.
not? Didn't work. But Sorry for coughing, but this is
It's
me now.
okay.
Uh, I hope I can get through tomorrow's show,
Oh
Malcolm.
yeah, do we have a show tomorrow?
We do. I hope my voice lasts through, but we'll see where it lands. Maybe we could just do a half hour. We'll see. But anyway, um, it was an interesting trip. It was again nice to meet my Finnish family. I have a Finnish family.
I know.
Seriously, how crazy
Who
is
would have
that?
thunk that?
No
Who
one.
would have thunk
In a
this?
zillion, my mom would be like, "What the hell?" I mean, it's what are the odds of that are same as almost the odds of like this waitress worked in Chappaqua.
Well, how about
And
me? How about me having a Spanish family,
yeah,
Salvadorian?
Yeah, yeah.
that's true. That's true. But anyway, so I'm pretty sure I'll be out there again. But I told him not the winter. I'm not going there in the winter.
Well,
No,
for the christening or bar mitzvah or
it's no christening. Nope. If it's a boy, chop chop.
yeah, for the
uh,
bris.
Well, before we go, tomorrow I'm singing the national anthem with my chorus at the minor league ballpark for the minors.
from the
Oh my
minors.
God, yes.
Yeah, I
And then
pro
in the seventh inning, we're singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
sounds like fun.
Well,
It
who are
is.
the
I love the
minors?
stadium. It's small, it's adorable, and they have a really good restaurant there, but they have the big pretzels, my favorite thing.
Okay.
Where what
What
major league team
town?
are they affiliated with?
Oh,
They're affiliated with the Canadian teams. They're
I didn't get to see Finnish
yeah.
baseball. That upset me.
Oh,
But I did get to see a commercial for it. And it is completely
did,
crazy. It's not like American baseball. They have these crazy rules. I I was really upset. But Helsinki doesn't have a baseball team. Tampere has one, but that's like it was an hour away. But I don't
did
know.
you see about the Banana League they have now?
Yeah, that's a new thing. What is
I
that?
want to, I'm looking forward to going to see that. Once it comes, if it
Where?
comes to they're all supposed to be traveling all over the country. If they come to Jersey or New York, I have to go. It's hysterical. They play on stilts.
Oh,
That's a
it's
little
like
too weird for me.
that's
I
like
think it's hysterical.
the basketball team. The which
It's like
team?
the
The
Harlem Globetrotters.
exactly.
So I'm
Exactly.
looking forward to that.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, Maxine, I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
uh I can't believe I'm even talking this long. But anyway, that's okay. I'm trying to get
But
through.
all told you enjoyed Finland.
I
You like
loved
the people. The people
Finland.
were nice,
The people were nice.
and it's a pretty city.
It's a pretty
Helsinki is.
city. It's very nice, and yeah, I'd recommend it. It's a Nordic country, and except the language is impossible. I can understand more Italian because you can hear some things that are either French or Spanish or from
Or
English.
things that or Italian words have been incorporated into
Uh,
English.
right. So I was able to, get a little of that, but mostly, at these hotels they speak English. They have to. And they learn
They
English
speak English everywhere.
from when they're little. They
Yeah.
as opposed to here, they give you a language in junior high school. When your hormones are going crazy, you're really going to be like listening and learning a language. You should start language in
Now,
first
the
first
same
grade.
thing in Switzerland. They start you with, in Switzerland, you have the Swiss German, then you have to learn regular German, then you have to learn French, and by the time you're in junior high school, you have to learn English. So you have to have four languages down by the time you graduate high school.
Yeah,
Helsinki,
we're the only
Helsinki has, hold on one sec. They have Swedish. You have to learn Swedish
Swedish.
because
Yeah.
a lot of Swedish people there. And there's a
Uh-huh.
whole thing with the Swedes and the Finns. But the second language, some of the signs are in Swedish too.
Well, you said where were you, Lake Como? You said was that the 40 minutes from
It's 40 minutes from Switzerland.
Switzerland?
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I would have driven to say I was in Switzerland. I didn't know. I had
Been
no
there.
idea it was that close.
Yeah, well, like in Los Angeles, I can drive 6, 7 hours and still be in California.
Right. Well,
I drove six,
Well,
7 hours
California is
into
long.
Finland.
it's
I can be in 5 different
California is
countries.
huge, Fourth largest economy in the world. It could be
And
its
like
own
New York,
country, like in
same
what?
thing. New York is wider.
Yeah. But
California is long.
California is much bigger though. Much
Well,
bigger.
one time they asked me the difference. I remember I was living here for about 2 years, and I was saying California has everything that uh, New York has. I said the only difference is,
You need to drive everywhere.
right, in New York, everything is with one island, basically is in an island, Manhattan.
Yeah,
You can everything you want. Over here, you have to drive from San
Right.
Diego
Yeah, yeah.
to Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
the same thing here in New Jersey. We have to drive everywhere to get to anything, any kind of
By the
food,
way,
normal
how's
food.
how's the weather by you? Did you?
87 degrees right
Oh
now.
yeah, I think we talked about it.
And it's supposed to be raining tonight, tomorrow. Hopefully not tomorrow night, please. This weekend, I want to play golf on Saturday and Sunday. It's supposed to rain.
Supposed to rain this weekend? Oh God.
Yep, off and on.
There was
And
some
it's
pretty bad thunderstorms uh in
Oh,
Italy.
yesterday afternoon at 2 o'clock,
Oh,
the
here
house.
too.
No,
Here too. Huh.
over here
Oh
in
my
LA,
God.
we're expecting this horrendous heat.
Yeah.
No, we
Well,
had some hard, they say more thunderstorms coming up. The whole country now, Texas with all
Oh,
those
forget
flooding.
the flooding.
But unfortunately,
that is
they
a
can't.
heartbreaking story.
It is a
And
heartbreaking story, but I'm
Oh, the
sorry to
kids.
say there's no FEMA. They have to.
and no, and also they let go of all the people from NOAA. There's
Mhm.
hardly there's literally a skeleton crew for weather.
The weather, yeah.
Yeah,
This is
there's the.
all a deliberate, cruel thing to just kill people. I'm convinced at this point.
But in Texas, this is his place, and I just don't
Too
understand.
bad. Hey, send them to the
And
alligator Alcatraz,
Right.
which
I'm
is
not that
more.
ups.
Think
I
about
feel
that.
bad for the children that were killed and missing. I'm really heartbroken about that. But the rest of them,
No,
Bible
well,
thumpers,
I'm not.
I feel bad. I really do.
Losing. Yeah, that's a bad situation. I
This is a
can't.
horrible situation. These
But
people.
I would say that because of what they did to cut the weather information,
Mhm.
um, I'd be pissed as crap if I were them on many levels.
Yeah.
But they're
Yeah,
not.
Well, basically,
they're not.
again,
It's God's
as I
will.
say
It's
on
thoughts
many,
and prayers, baby.
yeah, as I say on many shades, the big thing is we're not doing anything about the weather change, the
Oh, it's
climate
worse
change.
now than it's ever
We're making
been.
it worse because we're doing away with all the uh,
Science is bad.
science, and we're going back to the fossil fuel, which they say is the number one cause.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I know. And it's making me ill.
Mm,
they said that more than half
The,
of America is suffering from depression.
mm.
People are suffering from depression.
you know
And
what?
they're trying to
The
say, you get
pollution here in New Jersey is the worst it's been on my eyes. I've never had allergies in my life. In the last 2 years, the pollution here is awful.
there was a
Now they're doing away with all these, things for clean air, clean water.
well, they took about all the regulations.
Yeah.
They got rid of them.
Yeah.
They just literally
So it's
said, we
easy
don't
for large
care.
companies to do what they want. Anyway,
Well,
under
all right.
that optimistic note,
Well, try to find joy where you can.
And I said, joy, joy, joy,
joy
Because
to the
joy.
world.
I had joy at the party meeting my Finnish family,
Finnish
I
and
have
family.
joy
there's a
seeing you
wedding coming
home.
up,
And
and
yes,
When
you're
is the
gonna send
wedding?
me the wine list, so
yes.
you're in charge of the wine. So yeah, okay, all
Sending
right.
you wine.
Anyway,
'Cause I'm a whiner.
Stop
anyway,
being a whiner.
anyway, we got to get talking about your dinner that you had 2 weeks ago.
Next
Oh
time.
my
Next
God.
time.
I can't
Anyway,
even
guys,
tell you.
Stay
keep
tuned for the
cool,
next time
keep
dinner.
cool, feel better.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Feel
I'll
bad.
Uh,
I'll
speak to
talk
you
to you
tomorrow.
later.
ciao ciao.
Bye.
Ciao ciao.
Amen.
Arrivederci, bambinos.
You
Amen.
are
Man.
listening to
Arrivederci.
Tush Twins, heard exclusively on MalcolmPresents.com.
There you
Bye.
go. Ciao.
Ciao, man.